The LG wrote a letter, I believe it was addressed to you publicly, where he said that 20 million people, which is 2 crores of Delhi's citizens, that's over 80%, are deprived of drinking water. 80% is a big number.
This data is absolutely wrong. If 80% people did not have water, how do you think the city would survive?
But the big jump in water theft or water losses, is that a correct number?
See, I think I would not like to comment too much about what the LG says. So the reason that is because at the end of the day, he's a constitutional functionary. He's not a BJP functionary.
Though you guys have accused him of being as such or acting as such. Vehicular pollution is a big engine of pollution in Delhi. CSE report says that bus ridership has plunged in recent years. There's been a big increase in 2 to 4 wheelers. There are long wait times because of low bus frequency. Is that part of it on you?
No, I don't think the data is I don't think that data is correct for 2 reasons. I'm the Chief Minister of Delhi. I'm probably the only political leader who went on all media channels and was ready to answer questions on this issue. No Chief Minister of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. And if you look at the central government, forget the Prime Minister. Even the Environment Minister is not willing to answer questions on the issue of pollution.
In 2020, you promised 10 lakh jobs. You set up a jobs portal for people to apply and presumably get job placement. The Hindu did a piece which found that there were only 12,500 people who applied on the portal. It's not even clear if they got jobs. Is that a failure?
12,000 may be the number on the job portal.
But if you would have then be asked that in these past 5 years, how many jobs have you created? What number would that be?
That is a number that I would definitely have to look up and tell you.
But I want to ask you about your relationship with the BJP, because there is this question about how you ideologically differentiate yourself from the BJP. With the AAP, it's more confusing because you don't seem to have a problem with Hindutva. In fact, your argument is the BJP is not Hindu enough when it comes to Rohingyas, when it comes to all of that.
Our argument is...
So what's your ideological difference with the BJP?
Our ideological difference with the BJP is that they don't work in the interests of the people of Delhi.
BJP's vision is of India predominantly as a Hindu country, a Hindu Rashtra. They may say it openly, they may say it tacitly. But that's their fundamental ideological pole around which they build their politics. Do you agree with that or not? To take your position on the Rohingya Muslims, that when they come in, you've in a way mirrored the BJP rhetoric that they don't have a place here, that they're being given homes of the poor, while actually they're refugees fleeing persecution in their country and have every right to be here.
This entire question of Rohingyas, does BJP not have to answer that they who claim that national security is the highest priority for them, wo India mein aa kaise gaye?
No, but counter-argument not that. Isn't the counter-argument that even if they have come in, what's the issue? Because there's no evidence that they are linked to any criminality or terrorism. The UN data shows that there are only 40,000 of them here. So, is there still an India alliance, by the way?
That we will see after the election.
I know you will say you're winning. You are saying that? Yes. So it's the battle for Delhi, and I'm joined by Delhi Chief Minister Atishi in her residence here in Kalkaji, which is also a constituency. Thank you very much, Atishi, for speaking to us. I know you will say you're winning. You are saying that? Yes?
Well, I believe so, yes.
You believe so, okay. But will you at least accept that it's not going to be like the sweep of the last 2 times? It is tighter this time.
You know, if you were to go back to your programs from 2015 or 2020, whenever the elections were happening, at no point of time...
Was it ever looking like a landslide?
Was it ever looking as if it was a straightforward election?
Right.
2015 looked like a tough election. I remember when the opinion polls came, they seemed to show a close fight between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. 2020 as well.
Right.
A similar thing seemed to be happening. It's only when the results came did it appear as if it was a landslide. So I think this time as well, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it will be a landslide and it's going to be a one-sided victory. But I do feel that...
You're comfortable?
I do feel that the people of Delhi are with Aam Aadmi Party and are with Arvind Kejriwal.
By and large?
Yes, yes.
Because you were dropped in quite a hot seat situation, right? There's just like a few months left for elections and then you become Chief Minister. Was that quite daunting or?
Well, it was definitely unexpected. It was definitely unexpected because, my view of the world, there was only one Chief Minister of Delhi, and that was Arvind Kejriwal.
Right.
Arvind Kejriwal has been the leader of the party, the one who has brought it up till here. So, to be fair, I don't think I had expected that he would resign.
And then suddenly you find yourself in the hot seat.
In the hot seat. But I think in the last 4 months, the positive has been that we have been able to stabilize governance in Delhi. In the last 6 months before that, with the arrest of the sitting Chief Minister. See, the intent of that arrest was never investigation into any scam, because it was not as if they had found any money trail. They had not found any. I remember from when I was a child, you'd see on television that CBI conducted a raid at some politician's house, and you'd find mounds of cash and gold biscuits and property papers in the names of drivers and dogs and things like that. And, but here there was nothing.
Right.
So the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, the arrest of Manish Sisodia, the arrest of Sreenivasan Jain, they were all means of destabilizing the governance of Delhi in the run-up to the 2025
And did that happen for some time? Did it actually throw you guys off?
No, it definitely did. He was the sitting Chief Minister. And his arrest did definitely impact things. And it became a means to stop day-to-day governance in Delhi. And of course, there was an impact. If you ask people at that point of time, pensions, many pensions, old age pensions stopped. Water and sewer issues became far more exacerbated. Even basic things like road maintenance.
Why? Because the main person who was the authority, the decision-making authority, was in jail.
That was also used as an opportunity by the central government, by the LG, to put pressure on the officers.
Right.
To use that entire situation. And yes, it did have an impact. But I think in the last 4 months,
you guys have managed
we have been able to bring things back on track. And see, of course, I wouldn't say that everything is perfect or hunky-dory, and there are definitely things that we need to do. But yes, definitely governance.
There's been some course correction. Because if you look at the admission that Arvind Kejriwal made himself, where he said that these are the areas where AAP couldn't keep its promises, which is roads, water, and the Yamuna.
Yes.
Those are big areas. And I know that no party, no government can do 100%. But if you look just at water, for example, the LG wrote a letter, I believe it was addressed to you publicly, where he said that 20 million people, which is 2 crores of Delhi's citizens, that's over 80%, are deprived of drinking water. He said that water losses went up from 45% to 60% in the 8 years from 2015 to 2023. 80% is a big number.
This data is absolutely wrong. If 80% people did not have water, how do you think the city would survive? Right? Think about it. See, Delhi has some fundamental issues as far as water is concerned.
So this 80%, sorry, just to clarify, you're disputing these numbers completely.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
If 80% people did not have drinking water, 8 out of the 10 people you and I know in this city would not have water available in their homes.
Right.
This is not the case.
But the big jump in water theft or water losses, actually, is that a correct number?
See, the thing is, it's actually not water losses. What we have to understand is that there is water distribution networks over the years. There have been authorized water distribution networks and unauthorized water distribution networks.
Okay.
Today, in slum clusters, in unauthorized colonies, etc., till the Aam Aadmi Party government was formed, they never had any legal access to electricity, to water, to roads, to drains, etc.
Okay.
If there was actually 50% water loss happening in the city, the whole city would be flooded. Right? So someone is using that water. It is just that it needs to be better accounted for.
Okay.
That is right. So what you can probably say is that water is being used without proper billing being done. So it's not a loss of water. It is a loss.
But it's a loss of the management or the...
Yes, that I agree with.
The water, which he says has gone up. It's gone up by 15 percentage points according to him.
See, I think I would not like to comment too much about what the LG says. And the reason that is because at the end of the day, he's a constitutional functionary. He's not a BJP functionary.
Though you guys have accused him of being as such or acting as such.
But you tell me one thing. After Arvind Kejriwal ji resigned as Chief Minister and I was the Chief Minister, why is he writing letters to the ex-Chief Minister? Why is he writing open letters to the Chief Minister when he is in custody? So I feel that this entire obstructionism that we have seen this attempt to stop the governance in Delhi, be it via the LG, the central government, by arresting ministers, by arresting a sitting chief minister, was basically because of this 2025 election.
Right.
You see that it increased in the last 1.5, 2 years in the run-up to the election.
Okay.
And my own sense is that once we do win this election and come back, I think that a lot of that obstructionism is going to stop, because I think BJP will also realize that that is a failed strategy.
Okay, but moving on from water to roads, which is again something which Arvind Kejriwal said was a problem. There was an Indian Express article which said that only 16 sample roads were revamped in this time, which is a very small number.
No, so this number of roads revamped, this is what is being talked about as when we had said that we are going to make the roads into European style roads.
Yes.
So that redesign may have happened as a pilot project.
Yes.
But in terms of road repair, road maintenance, making of footpaths, etc., that is something that is done on a regular and on a routine basis.
But he did admit that you couldn't keep your roads promises. He was only referring to the fact that you couldn't do the European road standards.
Yes, and 16 roads have been made into European road standards.
Okay.
But having said that, in terms of day-to-day maintenance of roads, and that is one thing that I feel we have definitely managed to improve in the last 4 months, Delhi roads in September were more potholes and less road. And today, definitely, there is a marked improvement in that.
Okay. There are people on the streets of Delhi who may not agree, because we met some of those people. But one thing which surprised me is that he never mentioned pollution as one of the 3 areas where you guys failed. Because in 2020, you'd promised to bring the air quality index to 1/3 of what it is. But we know what happened this winter. It again hit, the 100, breached the 100 sort of threshold. I know you'll say it's not just a Delhi problem, it's a regional problem. And there is some validity to that. But if you look at all the recent data, which is telling you that vehicular pollution is a big engine of pollution in Delhi. The parali burning or the stubble burning has now come down to about 8%. On vehicular pollution, one of the solutions obviously is to increase and improve public transportation. CSE report says that bus ridership has plunged in recent years. There's been a big increase in 2 to 4 wheelers. There are long wait times because of low bus frequency. Is that part of it on you?
No, I don't think the data is I don't think that data is correct for 2 reasons.
Okay.
First of all, I would say that reducing pollution, and when you're talking about vehicular pollution, as far as Delhi is concerned, Delhi has seen the biggest jump in electric vehicles, be it in terms of private vehicles, be it in terms of public transport.
Then why is vehicular pollution? Sorry.
As on date, 12% of vehicles being registered in Delhi are electric vehicles. This number is not as high in any other state.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, Delhi is converting almost its entire bus fleet into electric buses. I don't know if you know this, but Delhi has the 2nd largest electric bus fleet in the world. Not in India, in the world. And in the next 6 months or so, we will have the largest bus fleet, the electric bus fleet in the world.
Okay.
So that is as far as converting vehicles into non-polluting sources.
Okay. As far as buses availability,
as far as buses availability is concerned, today Delhi has more than 7,500 buses. I think the number is at 7,700 and
7,500 is the number we had, but that's in the same ballpark.
This is the highest number of buses that Delhi has ever had. Delhi has never had these many buses before, number one. Number two, in terms of expansion of the Delhi Metro, there has been an expansion of the Delhi Metro network by 450 kilometers in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Recently, we had an inauguration of the metro line, a phase 4 metro. And the Prime Minister had stood on stage and said that in my 10 years, I have built 1,000 kilometers of metro line across the country. Now, metro line is a joint venture between the central government and the state government. And usually, the speed of its development depends on how much money the state government puts in, because obviously they have lesser resources than central government.
Right.
Out of the 1,000 kilometers the PM has claimed he built across the country, 450 kilometers has been built in Delhi, because in the last 10 years, the AAP government has invested 7,500 crore rupees in the building of the Delhi Metro.
Okay, so now come to the crux of why then has vehicular pollution gotten worse if all of these steps have taken place?
What you have to understand is that Delhi, it's not as if there are walls around Delhi's borders, right?
Sure.
So pollution, the air coming into Delhi is impacted by everything on all sides. Now, for example, Anand Vihar is considered as one of the hotspots of pollution, right? We have recently built a flyover, almost a 2.5 kilometer long flyover to finish traffic jams in that area.
Right.
All the buses that are coming to Anand Vihar bus station are either CNG buses or electric buses. But just as you cross the road, on the other side of the border is the Kaushambi bus station, where all buses are diesel buses.
They've not converted yet.
They have not converted yet, number one. Delhi is the only city which has no brick kilns. Eent ke bhatte are one of the biggest sources of pollution. But
Which you're also saying is coming in.
But if you go into the NCR region, there are more than 3,800 brick kilns in the immediate vicinity of Delhi.
Okay, but then just to come back to the...
So therefore, if we have to solve the pollution of Delhi, of the entire NCR, of the North India region, all states will have to come together.
Okay.
And I think that it is time that we start asking the central government also questions on this. You know, this year when
of course,
pollution was high, I'm the Chief Minister of Delhi. I'm probably the only political leader who went on all media channels and was ready to answer questions on this issue. No Chief Minister of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. And if you look at the central government, forget the Prime Minister. Even the Environment Minister is not willing to answer questions on the issue of pollution. And this is only answering questions. Forget implementing any policies.
Okay, let me ask you about jobs, because now that's become an issue that even Arvind Kejriwal, all of you are talking about in this election. In 2020, you'd promised 10 lakh jobs. You set up a jobs portal for people to apply and presumably get job placement. The Hindu did a piece which found that there were only 12,500 people who applied on the portal. It's not even clear if they got jobs. Is that a failure then?
See, I think as far as what one has to understand is that the biggest problem as far as jobs is concerned is the creation of jobs. Right now, across the country, the problem is not a question of placement or of matching.
No, it's job creation,
The problem is the issue is of job creation. And on the whole, if you look at the direction of the economy, there are no jobs being created. In fact, we in our entire schooling system, and now even in our higher education institutions and colleges, have actually begun a very strong push towards entrepreneurship. Because until young people coming out of our schools and colleges stop just standing in queues and looking and being in line looking for jobs, unless they become job creators, this problem is not going to end.
I agree, but I'm asking you about your 2020. I'm asking about the 2020 promise, because that's a promise you made 5 years ago, and clearly that promise hasn't been met. Would you at least concede whatever you do going forward is different?
No. So what I would say is that in the last 5 years, the number of young entrepreneurs who have come out of our schooling system is probably something which has never happened before. You have had young people who have come out of schools who are within the next few years of that have actually set up their own private limited companies.
But the number is only 12,000.
No, the 12,000 may be the number on the job portal.
Okay.
But the fact that now you have young people who are coming out of schools who are not looking for jobs, but at that point of time are themselves job creators. And there is a lot of these are bottom of the pyramid job creators. There was this one student of class 12 whom I met. So we run this Business Blasters program where we give students seed money and they get to start their own small business. This one student in class 12, even before he gave his board exam, he was running a logistics company and was employing 50 people.
Okay.
You had this one girl from class 12 who lived in Northeast Delhi who started making these, her sister had a gluten allergy, so she started making these gluten-free chips.
Right.
She had a group of 20 housewives whom she had engaged in her production network. So this push towards entrepreneurship, because finally that is where the jobs are going to be coming out of.
No, but if you would have then be asked that in these past 5 years, how many jobs have you created? What number would that be?
That is a number that I would definitely have to look up and tell you.
Okay.
It may not be 10 lakhs.
Okay.
But 12,000 number, of course, I do not agree with.
Okay.
Because I think that even from the job portal itself, I remember
This is supposed to be job portal data.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. Even from the job portal itself, I remember there were at least a few lakh people who applied and got jobs on that.
So you can come back to us with a number. The other, of course, stress point for you, one, as you go into elections again, one, of course, we talked about governance. The other is this whole corruption charges business that we spoke about. And I know that your position, AAP's position is that these are trumped up charges. So I'll come to that in a second. But
they are trumped up charges.
Okay. But when we come to what you said, that in the old days, when you would raid a politician's house and you would find mattresses stuffed with cash, etc., you might argue that that's not happened in this case. But all these reports about Arvind Kejriwal's house, that there was all this expensive curtains and television sets and all of that, right? The BJP's so-called Sheesh Mahal. Would you accept? So firstly, I'm still trying to understand your position on that. Are you accepting that those numbers are correct?
First of all, what is your question about? Is your question about Arvind Kejriwal's residence? Or is your question about the so-called liquor policy?
The question is about the residence, which I said I'll come to the...
Which is the question? What is the question?
The question is about the residence and whether that creates a perception of...
First of all, let's be very clear. That is not Arvind Kejriwal's residence. That is the residence of the Chief Minister of Delhi.
Not the designated residence, so because Delhi doesn't have a designated... It is not the
designated residence of the Chief Minister of Delhi. So it is not Arvind Kejriwal's residence. When Arvind Kejriwal resigned as the Chief Minister of Delhi, he moved out of that residence. That residence was allotted to me. Of course,
which they didn't let you occupy.
Of course, the Lieutenant Governor over 3 months has thrown me out 2 times for that residence.
No, even
it's a different matter altogether.
No, so Atishi, I'm saying even if it's not... Even if it's not his, it's not his private residence.
It is not his private residence. It's not a question of even if it is not his private residence.
It isn't his private residence. The question was that while you were staying there...
A few days ago, Saurabh, there's been all these stories doing the rounds that, it has a gold toilet. It has...
I'm not saying that was...
No, that's what the BJP is saying. They've been making these models of the CM residence. They said it has a gold toilet.
Right.
They said it has a swimming pool. They said it has a mini bar. There are all these things that they've been saying. A few days ago, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Sanjay Singh had gone there. They said, open it. Open it for the public to see.
Sure, we saw that. It was widely covered.
Let everyone have a look. Let's see where the so-called swimming pool is.
But that's not an answer to my question. My question is
so the thing
were these expenses actually incurred in that house?
So I'm just saying that let people have a look to see whether actually this so-called swimming pool, this so-called toilet made of gold, this so-called minibar actually exists.
No, so they may not be.
I would also say something else.
No, can I just finish the question? Okay, fine, okay. I'm not getting a chance to speak, but go ahead.
But I also feel, let us also open out the PM residence. Let us also have a look inside that. Because
that's a two wrongs make a right argument, by the way.
I have been told, just as you have been told by the BJP, that all of these things exist.
This is not the BJP, by the way. This is not the BJP. This is not the BJP. This is the Indian Express story, which claimed
what is the Indian Express story based on?
It was quoting, it claimed a CAG report based on the PWD documents.
A CAG report that is lying sealed in the Delhi Assembly. A CAG report that no one has seen.
So that's what I was trying to understand. Whether you guys are disputing this 96 lakh curtain, 67 lakh marble stone walls, etc., etc.
All I'm saying is let's open out the CM residence. Let's also open out the PM residence. Because the PM residence also apparently, I've been told that it has a carpet woven with gold thread made of 300 crores. I've been told it has
that may well be. I think the question only arises. No, the question only arises because of...
In interest of transparency, let us open out the CM residence. Let us also open out the PM residence and let everyone see.
Okay.
How does the CM of Delhi live and how does the PM of the country live?
The only reason why this comes up is obviously because Arvind Kejriwal has positioned himself as an Aam Aadmi politician, and that's why when these details of what had been spent on his house came out, that it created that disconnect, right? How do the two things add up?
I'm just saying, let's open it out. It'll end all the dispute.
Okay, now coming to the...
If you want to go, whether all of these things that have been reported in some paper actually exist, people would be able to see them.
Okay,
whether all of these things, whether all these diamond chandeliers and gold carpets exist in the PM residence, let's open that out. So,
okay, let's move on to the liquor scandal. We've spoken about this before as well, and these are, according to you, motivated charges. But would you concede that they do create a dent in the public perception when you have the Supreme Court placing certain restrictions on Arvind Kejriwal with his bail, saying he can't work out of his office, there are only certain files he can sign and so on and so forth. Surely you concede that that's not a great look.
It's the same Supreme Court that said that the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal was uncalled for. It's the same Supreme Court that said in the judgment that the central agencies have become caged parrots and they should be acting independently and not at the behest of their masters.
But the bail conditions?
So it is very clear that each of these cases, see, the thing is, you arrest someone under PMLA, they are not going to be able to get bail easily anyway. Because under that very law, getting bail is virtually impossible.
Right.
But you remember in 2014, this kind of comment about CBI being a caged parrot was made 10 years back as well. The fact that it has been made again at the time of Arvind Kejriwal's bail is an indicator of the fact that Supreme Court has come down heavily upon this entire lack of evidence.
But Atishi, I'm talking now not so much about the court, the courts of the land as much as the court of public opinion. And there, do you concede that this is not a great look for the party, which said that it's an anti-corruption party?
I think in the court of public opinion, people are very clear. See, people are not fools. They see what is going on. But they see the fact that here you have a man, Arvind Kejriwal, who's working for the people of Delhi. Right? Here you have a man who's fighting for the rights of the people of Delhi, giving their children schools, providing them healthcare, providing access to public transport to women in Delhi. And here you have a central government that is harassing him, that is harassing his ministers, that is harassing his political parties. You know when Arvind Kejriwal,
so in the Lok Sabha,
you know when Arvind Kejriwal was arrested, the kind of public sympathy there existed for that. Even till today, I meet women who tell me कि हम तो इतना रोए जब केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार
So why would you say then that in the Lok Sabha you ran a campaign कि jail का जवाब votes थे? Didn't seem to work. 7-0 BJP.
I think
if there was so much public sympathy,
as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned, Delhi has shown time and again
that it's a different factor.
It votes very differently in the Lok Sabha election and in the assembly elections. Second, in the court of public opinion, see, the court of public opinion does not take place, as you also know, inside TV studios. The court of public opinion actually takes place where the people live, and these are not the issues the people are talking about.
Okay, let's look at
the people of Delhi care about their everyday lives. Okay, and their everyday lives have been improved by Arvind Kejriwal, and that's what they care about.
Okay, so suppose you're done really well, as you claim in the past 5 years, you feel the people are with you, then why the need to bring in this scheme at the last minute, the Mahila scheme where you're giving 2,100 rupees to women, which in many ways could be argued is just a clone of what the BJP and other parties have been doing for years in advance. Doesn't that seem like a bit of a last minute act of desperation?
In any government or any election, right? What is it that you go to the people with? You say, this is the work that we have done in the last 5 years, and this is what we are going to do in the next 5 years. So you go with your achievements and then with your plan. You go with both things. So we are going to the people with the work that we have done. And by the way, we are the only party that talk about the work that we have done. You go into any BJP rally, any Nukkad Sabha, but that's they have nothing to say.
Okay, but that's not my question. My question was that these cash transfer schemes to women are often being used, as you know, especially by the BJP, as a kind of last-minute quick fix. When you realize that your record isn't great, so then you announce it and go to the elections. Did it in Maharashtra, I've done it in Madhya Pradesh. You guys seem to be copying the same playbook.
We have announced several schemes. We have not just announced a cash transfer scheme. Yes, we have announced a cash transfer scheme. We have announced a health insurance scheme for senior citizens. We have announced a scheme whereby we are going to provide scholarships to Dalit students who are going to study abroad. We have announced a scheme whereby RWAs, because of lack of safety and security in Delhi, are going to be provided grants for getting security guards.
So this women's scheme is not a sign of nervousness that you're doing it because you're worried about public anger?
Any government will go in with their work and their agenda. And plus their agenda. Okay, in fact, let me put this question to you.
Okay.
What has the BJP done in the last 10 years for Delhi? BJP runs the central government. Delhi is a half state.
I'll definitely ask the BJP that if I get into that. Your people are anyway signaling that you're running out of time. Let me ask you this, because in this election, you actually accuse the Congress. Forget the fact that you guys aren't in alliance. You're actually accusing the Congress of being in cahoots with the BJP, of being funded by the BJP. But I want to ask you about your relationship with the BJP, because there is this question about how you ideologically differentiate yourself from the BJP, right? The Congress will have an answer to that, saying, we follow the secular axis of Indian politics, BJP is Hindutva communal. With the AAP, it's more confusing, because you don't seem to have a problem with Hindutva. In fact, your argument is the BJP is not Hindu enough when it comes to Rohingyas, when it comes to all of that.
Our argument is...
So what's your ideological difference with the BJP? Let's start with that.
Our ideological difference with the BJP is that they don't work in the interests of the people of Delhi. That is our problem with the BJP.
That's not an ideological difference.
Of course it is. It is an ideological difference. For example...
That's a competence question.
It is not. They say that we give freebies. Right? They say कि जी 200 यूनिट बिजली दे दी तो रेवड़ी है, फ्री पानी दे दिया तो रेवड़ी है, महिलाओं को फ्री बस यात्रा दे दी है तो रेवड़ी है. They can write off the loans of their friends and industrialist businessmen worth lakhs and lakhs of crores. That is not a freebie.
That's a policy difference. I'm asking at an ideological level.
This is not an ideological difference.
Okay, the BJP's ideology...
So, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, our ideology is to make the lives of people better. That is what we exist as elected representatives for. People vote for us.
That's a governance question. The BJP's ideology as a whole.
But why is that not an ideology question? Why do we exist as a political party? Why do we exist as a government?
Okay, let me ask you, let me frame the question. Let me answer that. I know. Let me frame the question. The BJP's vision is of India predominantly as a Hindu country, a Hindu Rashtra. They may say it openly, they may say it tacitly. But that's their fundamental ideological pole around which they build their politics. Do you agree with that or not?
First of all, that is not just their only ideological pole. Their also ideological pole is to fund their friends and their...
Okay, but I'm asking about this one.
On this particular question, see, the thing is that India belongs to people of all religions, right? And if there is a political party that says that India can belong only to one religion, there is fundamentally a problem with that. Aam Aadmi Party believes in providing facilities, improving the lives of people of all religions.
Okay.
So if you were to look at us, we do not differentiate. If a child gets a good government school, if a child gets a good education,
right.
The child can be Hindu, the child can be Muslim, the child can be Sikh, the child can be Christian.
Yeah.
So as a government, we have provided for children from every community who speak every language, who are coming from every socio-economic class. So yes, of course, I disagree with the fact that BJP as a party, if they discriminate against people of any one religion, then of course that is wrong. That is against the constitution of our country.
But on one hand you say that, but on the other, if you take your position on the Rohingya Muslims, that when they come in, you've in a way mirrored the BJP rhetoric that they don't have a place here, that they're being given homes of the poor, while actually they're refugees fleeing persecution in their country and have every right to be here.
But this entire question of Rohingyas, does BJP not have to answer that they who claim that national security is the highest priority for them?
Yes.
वो इंडिया में आ कैसे गए? वो कहते हैं कि भाई चलो दिल्ली में they are making allegations against us as far as Rohingyas are concerned.
Yeah.
Who mans the borders of the country?
No, but
does Aam Aadmi Party man the border of the country? And if you have illegal immigrants who are coming in, if you have any illegal immigrants who are coming in,
yes,
right, it is the responsibility of the central government to ensure that they can't come in.
No, but so isn't the counter argument not that? Isn't the counter argument that even if they have come in, what's the issue? Because there's no evidence that they are linked to any criminality or terrorism. The UN data shows that there are only 40,000 of them here. So shouldn't
for any country, the question, it is not a question of whether it is Rohingyas, whether it is one community or another community. For any country, as far as national security goes, you cannot have porous borders, right?
But refugees are different.
You cannot have illegal immigrants who are coming in, right? It is the job of the national government to ensure that there is no illegal immigration that happens in the country. And it is very clear that BJP has failed in that job. I read in the newspaper that apparently it is someone who is a Rohingya or some Bangladeshi who was involved in the attack on Saif Ali Khan. That means someone entered the border of the country from Bangladesh, travelled across 5 states that were all probably ruled by the BJP and reached Maharashtra.
Right.
Is that not a failure of governance by the BJP? Is that not a question that they have to answer? That is a question that the BJP is running away from.
No, I know, but
that is a question that, see, at the end of the day, providing national security, making sure that your borders are sealed is a job of the national government.
No, I agree that porous borders and people who come in who participate in criminality is wrong. But we also understand that refugees will cross borders. That's how the Tibetans are here, that's how the Afghans are here, and that's how the Rohingyas are here. So there's a distinction between both. And my understanding of a party like Aam Aadmi Party would be that they would actually defend the rights of people like Rohingyas. You might call out other forms of infiltration. But you guys seem to be on the same page as the BJP, which is what
I think we are very clear.
Problematic.
We are very clear on this issue of national security, and I feel that the BJP has failed on that count.
Okay.
And they are trying to put their own failures.
Okay.
It is at the end of the day the Home Minister Amit Shah who is responsible for our borders.
Okay.
Right? Now they are trying to put forward their failures on someone else's head.
Okay.
But I think they are the ones who will have to answer this question.
So let me just ask you final questions. We were talking about the BJP, but when it comes to the Congress, I understand that you can have an alliance at the national level and you can be fighting state elections. That has happened. But you guys aren't just fighting. You're actually accusing them of being agents of the BJP, that the Congress paisa le raha hai BJP se. That's a big allegation against someone that you've just fought an election with.
You look at the New Delhi seat. You have Sandeep Dixit filing a complaint against Arvind Kejriwal to the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor does not give time to Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, sitting MLAs, when they are asking for time for problems in their constituency. He does not give them time. But Sandeep Dixit gets an appointment. As soon as he gets an appointment, an investigation begins into whatever he has given his complaint against. Second,
but that's not proof of being funded.
Pravesh Verma is openly distributing money. Pravesh Verma is openly distributing bed sheets, shoes, gold chains. I don't know what all he says. Clear violation.
I know you said, why is the Congress silent on it?
Why is the Congress silent on that?
But is that proof of complicity? Is that proof that the Congress is being funded by the BJP, which is a very different allegation and a very serious allegation? You have evidence of that.
See, the thing is that it is very clear that the Congress at this point of time, at least the Delhi Congress,
is
hand in glove with the BJP. Because there is not...
Are saying that with all seriousness?
I am saying that with all seriousness. What is it that the Delhi Congress is saying against the BJP? Is the Delhi Congress, from morning to evening, look at their press conferences, is there anything they are saying against the BJP? Are there any questions they are asking of the BJP? The day Ramesh Pidhuri made the comment about Priyanka Gandhi, Aam Aadmi Party leaders condemned it. The following day, he made a derogatory comment about me. No Congress leader condemned it.
But the Congress is still...
So what is it?
But you can ask the Congress... The Congress is your so-called friendly party. You're all part of the India Alliance. Is there still an India Alliance, by the way?
That we will see after the elections.
No, but why don't you just pick up the phone and ask Rahul Gandhi ki if this is all true, usko rukwaiye?
पर वो नहीं रुकवा रहे हैं ना. मतलब उनको नहीं दिख रहा क्या? उनको नहीं दिख रहा क्या? वो न्यूज़ नहीं पढ़ते क्या? वो नहीं देख रहे प्रवेश वर्मा नई दिल्ली में क्या कर रहा है? वो नहीं देख रहे कि टेलीविजन कैमरास के सामने वो हजार रुपए बांट रहा है. Women are saying कि हमें 1000 रुपए इसलिए दिया और कहा कि कमल पे बटन दबाना.
Okay. So anyway, Congress, whether India Alliance stays or not is a question for after the election. But this election, you're confident you're winning. This entire chief ministerial thing, which I know you keep getting asked all the time. But were you to win, because all the posters say, all the Aam Aadmi Party posters say, BJP CM question mark, kaun hoga? Aam Aadmi Party is Arvind Kejriwal. But explain that, because the Supreme Court restrictions, the moral question, which is why he resigned in the first place, presumably still remains. So what changes? Why would he come back as Chief Minister?
So on the moral question, I think he was very clear when he resigned that he does not want just the judgment of the Supreme Court. He wants the judgment of the people of Delhi.
But he already had the judgment in 2020.
If the people... No, but that was in 2020. After that, there have been so many allegations. After that, he was arrested. After that, he went to jail. If the people of Delhi... See, the people of Delhi are voting on the face of Arvind Kejriwal. If the people of Delhi bring Aam Aadmi Party back to power, then they are bringing Arvind Kejriwal back to power. So it is their show
So that bypasses the moral question.
That show of faith, that show of confidence. If people on Delhi were to feel that he is corrupt, why would they vote for him?
But the court's restrictions about entering office, about certain files being signed, not signed.
We have been functioning with restrictions for 10 years now.
That won't be a problem.
When in February 2015 we formed our first government, within 3 months, MHA started imposing illegal restrictions on us. For 8 years, we fought in court saying that restriction is wrong, that notification is wrong, and we won. And then in 8 days, they brought in new restrictions. So whatever we have delivered in Delhi has been despite all restrictions that are imposed upon us.
You're okay not being CM?
Of course, Arvind Kejriwal is the person that is being, that the people of Delhi want as the Chief Minister.
Okay, well, let's see how that plays out. But thank you very much indeed for speaking to us, Atishi, and all the very best.
Thank you.
Journalism at News Laundry is powered by the public. Because when the public pays, the public is served. Visit newslaundry.com/subscription and pick a payment plan of your choice. Pay to keep news free and independent. Your future, and indeed the future of democracy, depends on it.